People think, for you to be called gifted, you need to be a painter, you need to be a rapper, you need to be a mathematician, a scientist. But the world, as we know it right now, has been advanced by people that just make very, very seemingly small contributions. Somebody just invents a paperclip. The way I talked about having a degree makes you think you know it all. Being old also makes you think you know it all. So you know what, I'm 65. What have I not seen? Yeah, and then you end up realizing you can't run business on common sense. You end up realizing business is like swimming. You're in the water. Reading about swimming can't help you swim.
I'm sure you're familiar with some people who are very talented, but they fail to turn those ideas into a business.
Many of them don't have confidence. The creatives that are struggling are not confident. Most of them, I think, suffer from that. You find a guy, he's just there. You're like, bro, you're the one who did this. Yes, I'm the one who did it. Wow, bro, this is money. This is nice. Oh, okay. And then the guy doesn't even have a 20 kwacha.
Yeah.
You get the point. No one is going to come and save you. That's the thing. Everyone is busy. Growing up, I didn't have any interest in business, didn't know anything about business, didn't even want to be a business person. Yeah, I wanted to be a scientist. Went to CBU, discovered my passion for business. So it's just about finding your passion. So I found out what I wanted to do and who I was.
I know you've also mentioned about how sometimes papers can be useless if you don't know how to use them properly. Tell me about that, Jen. So before we dive into the conversation, a quick reminder. Most of you are watching without subscribing. So if this podcast adds value to you, press that subscribe button, leave a comment, or share it with somebody who might benefit from this conversation. It helps us grow the DUWIT community, and it also makes sure you don't miss the next conversation. All right. Welcome to the DUWIT Podcast, Harrison.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
very happy to be here.
Yeah, long time coming.
Yeah, I'm very happy it has happened. You have no idea. I went and did prayer and fasting for many centuries for this to happen. So
no way.
I'm happy I'm here.
The first thing that I'd like to start with is where I first came across someone. And for you, I think, I don't know, I can't remember. I don't know if it's when I was at CBU, but I remember, I think, coming across your book, coming across your first book. And I was truly inspired by that, and also by the fact that you are also at CBU before me, of course. And I think from then, I started following your work. And then later on, I think that's when on LinkedIn, we connected. I think that's where you knew me from, But for me, I've been following you for a very long time.
Holy cow. And I've never said that before.
Yeah.
I'm finding that out on a podcast.
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
No, I'm humbled. I couldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's for me, it's the other way around. Yeah, I'm the one who, I always feel I'm the one who discovered you, since you're this big genius. I'm a big fan and all of those things. So it's a pleasure to do this.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. So before we go anywhere, I like to first ask somebody where they came from, like the background, because I believe that's what shaped who you are today as a person. The environment, the people that you're around, that have influenced the person that you are today. So tell me where you grew up from. You grew up from Dola and also Lusaka, right? Tell me about your childhood and your ages.
Okay, thanks. I grew up on the Copper Belt, correct. So when I was born, I think a few months after I was born, my parents moved to Kitwe. That's where my life began. So as far as I can remember, life starts in Kitwe, Parklands, 58 Freedom Avenue.
You even remember that?
I remember the place. It had a lot of mango trees. I don't know if it's because I was small, but the yard, always seemed to be very, very big. Yeah. So I went to Kitwe primary school, and then later on, I think when I was in grade 4, thereabouts, my parents moved to Ndola.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we moved to 18 Uchetekero Crescent in Tawa. Lived in Ndola up to grade 12, so I finished my grade 12 there. Then by then, my parents moved again when I was in grade 12 to Kabu. So I remained with with another family until I finished, and then joined my parents in Kawa, and then later on went to CBU. So those are the places that shaped my childhood. So I'm a Kopala person.
Kopala person. Nichibemba sana ka.
Wakamba chibemba tolanga. Wino. Official language.
Official language. Ngechinyanja mwalisambirira.
Chinyanja napunzira kubufana. Kairo mdara nze bakuchipata. So nija panyumba mkamba chinyanja panyumba ukaenda ku skuru ni Chibemba. So Chibemba chenziba nchija Chapa Street. Kairo wafuma panganda nombolo mfwa Bemba kamba so that's the Bemba that you learn. So that's the Bemba usually I try to polish my Bemba to sound respectful, but naturally that's how I come out. And that's because that's the Bemba I was exposed to.
Okay, that's really interesting. And describe to me, or how somebody else would describe you in class when growing up.
I think I was a nerd. But I didn't know I was a nerd. I used to notice girls in class. There's this girl, you try and strike a friendship, and then it's not just working out, you get the point, right? But there are these guys, you know, there was something I was missing. There was just something I was missing, you get the point. So I think when I grew up a bit and I observed my friends, now our interests were very... there was a sharp contrast. My friends would be talking about soccer, weightlifting, this and that, the typical thing, and I would be talking about science, Albert Einstein, robots, projects, things like that, So I think eventually I discovered myself. So this is my identity. This is who I am. Maybe I'm a nerd a bit. There's all of this. I think somebody would say Harrison was a nerd.
And what do you think that comes from? The interest in robots, science, and all those things?
Yes, I was very, very interested in science. And I think when I went to high school, when I was at Temweni High School, it was a very, very small school. It used to be a primary school, historically, and then at some point, it was changed to a secondary school. So we were the fourth grade 12s. When I went there in grade 8, there weren't any grade 12s there. I think the highest grade was grade 11. So there was a small lab. It was a very, very small lab. And when I joined the Jets Club, I was very, very interested in jets and science. So I would always be in there. There's the science HOD was kind enough. I think she noticed my interest. This guy is interested in science. And then she just let me. So I would be there getting this and that, doing all those experiments, making trouble. I think there's a time we made the rocket and then it exploded.
He made the rocket?
No, we made the rocket. I made the rocket. It exploded. So these are things where you're just seeing things from books and you're trying stuff out. And then when that explosion happened, the school went on a standstill. And then
was it really big?
No, it was a very big bang, very big explosion. And
was it in a lab or?
No, it was outside, outside the lab. So you cook up everything in the lab, making the whole thing for weeks, and then you try it, and then eventually just explodes. It was quite a very big bang. So
So people describe that.
So from that time, people started calling me mad scientist. Mad scientist. So high school days on was, I think, those are the memories people have of me.
But I want to know, what really inspired you? Anyone in your family where you got that from, or that interest or anything?
Come to think of it, I think I'm more like the odd one out. I think okay, everyone is special. Everyone is special. Everyone is special in my family. You are special. We are special. I think I'm special in my own way also. I don't think there's anyone that followed the interest that I'm in. I think I'm an extremist. I always end up having these, extreme tastes and interests and all of those things. But I think when I grew up also, I think when I was in university, at the time I wanted to be a priest. So I was like, I'm going to be a priest. I'll join the Jesuits. And I was very serious about that. So that's not something anybody in the family would be expected to say. But then I think eventually that died down. And here I am. And the rest,
Okay, cool. So now tell me, of course, we're going to talk about this book, which is we're going to talk about today, which we're going to highlight today. But you've written other books as well.
Yeah.
Tell me where the spark in writing came from first, when you got that interest.
Okay, I don't think it's an interest.
Yeah.
I think it's my nature. I'm this person that has a lot of things to express. And from childhood, I always found myself writing stuff. When I was in grade 5, you know, I would always be in trouble writing certain things that were inappropriate in class.
Yeah.
I remember eventually, because when I was young, I used to be very interested in football. I was a very huge soccer fan. Like, I think grade 5 for a brief period. So I also remember writing a manual. Yeah, I think it was a 60-page manual on how to play football.
Really?
Yeah. So I've always loved writing.
Yeah.
I've always loved writing. And I think when I was in high school, I think I remember filling up a diary about my thoughts on God, religion, and all of those things. Yeah. So I think I didn't know. By then I didn't know that there's this thing called being a writer. So I was just writing.
You're just
I didn't know. Okay, you can actually write books. People have written books. People like you and me, and writing in your diary or your book, and that's how things start. There wasn't anything like that. So eventually, I think I even finished school. I finished university, and then there's a guy by the name of Levi Sakala. So Levi Sakala used to write, there's a periodical that he used to write in campus. I think it was called Reflections with Levi. And then later on, I think it transitioned to him blogging on Facebook. And then I used to follow his blogs, and then people used to read those things. So I was like, people actually read, because what used to discourage me again was like, maybe if I open a blog, maybe on Facebook, if I start writing articles and stories and all of those things, no one will read, because people in Zambia don't read. But when I saw people reading Levi Sakala's material, and they were liking his things in the thousands, I was like, okay, I think I can start doing this also. There's an audience over there, and that's how I opened started writing on my Facebook profile. And then eventually, people liked what I started, what I was writing. So that feedback reinforced the whole thing, and it's been years now. I've written thousands of articles. Some have gone viral. Some have been published in newspapers, in magazines, and in 2022, I decided to pick the most impactful ones that deal with personal development and compile them in a book. So that's when I self-published a book entitled The Source of All Wealth and Other Personal Development Articles. Yes. So it's named after an article that I wrote entitled The Source of All Wealth. And it received very great reception. It went viral. So I think the blogging, obviously, I think for now, I can say that's the highest it has gone, I think, that book. But even after that book, there's so much material that has been released. I keep writing. I think I try to write every day. Though these days, I think because of being very busy. But a week won't pass, at least I'll write something. I'll write an article, something like that.
Interesting. No, I see all your posts on Facebook, and there are people's different opinions and whatnot. Yeah, it's very interesting. I know we have a lot to unpack, but I've also been interested in your book, Discover the Genius in You. Tell me a bit about, I know it's not the thing for today, but tell me a bit about that and the inspiration for that.
I wrote Discover the Genius in You when I was 23.
Oh, really?
I just finished my studies at CBU. So I wrote it. I
finished at 23, university?
Yes. So I finished high school at 17. I finished high school at 17, and I was in my 5th year at 23. So when I was 23 when I finished. So I think it's something I've been talking about. People are unique. People are different. And that thing, I'm big on having people achieve their goals, reaching their full potential. And I think one of the gifts that I have is noticing gifts in other people. And I know the potential that gifts in certain individuals have if they are discovered, if they are nourished, and if they are used to their full potential. And the thing is, or should I say, but the thing is, people don't know that. And people underestimate even the little gifts that they have.
Yeah.
People think, for you to be called gifted, you need to be a painter, you need to be a rapper, you need to be a mathematician, a scientist, and things in those lines. But the world, as we know it right now, has been advanced by people that just make very, very seemingly small contributions. Somebody just invents a paperclip.
Yeah.
Or somebody just invents a staple. The world can't move without staples, even without a stapler. The staple is more important than the stapler. Yeah. The stapler just makes it easy to staple, but you can find a way to staple without a stapler. Yeah. Now imagine how messy paperwork would be without things like a stapler or paper clips. And you can list down a lot of such simple things.
Yeah.
And you realize that these things didn't come from people who were painters, who were geniuses. They were ordinary people. And all they needed to change the world was harnessing that, 0.01% giftedness that they have.
Yeah.
So that's what inspired me to write a book, Discover the Genius in You. Yes, it demystifies our misconception about what genius is.
Yeah.
It demystifies our misconception of what you need to do to harness your genius and all of those things. And I wrote it for people, especially Zambians, to read it. And when they read it, harness that 1%, 0.09% giftedness that they have to create something equivalent to even just a paperclip or a staple or a nail.
Yeah.
And I think if 5 million people did that, our country wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
So that's about that book.
Okay, nice. It's really interesting because I think you use the term genius because some teacher used to tell you in class about being a genius and whatnot, right? That's where the name of the book came from. Right?
I think you read it.
Yeah, I think I read part of it. Yeah.
Yes. So there's I don't know if he's around. Long. I was in grade 5. I had that teacher had influenced me a lot. His name is Mr. Muhango. I don't know if he's around. So if you're around and you're watching, I don't know, find a way to reach me. I need to buy you something nice.
Yeah.
So I was in grade 5. I think I was 10 or 11 years old. And he always used to say, "You're a genius, you're a genius, you're a genius." And it's not, I wasn't the best in class. Sometimes I used to top the class academically, but not most of the time. We used to have a lot of brilliant people, but here and there he would mention that.
Yeah.
So that really improved me in terms of having a high self-esteem, exposure and all of those things. And I think that has added a lot to who I am today.
Of course, you went through school, you did uni, and then you graduated. Then you talk about leaving your job. And I know you've also mentioned about how sometimes papers can be useless if you don't know how to use them properly. Tell me about that, Jen.
Yeah, so we're at CBU.
You're studying engineering, right?
Yeah, I'm studying engineering. Yeah, though I never planned to study engineering even when I was in high school. So remember, I was this nerd, science guy. So I wanted to be like Albert Einstein. That was my hero. I used to have a picture of Albert Einstein in my bedroom. Yeah. So I was like, I know one day I'm going to create a very powerful theory, very powerful physics like Albert Einstein. So I always wanted to study physics, theoretical physics.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't want to go to a university that was close to home. So by then I was in Indore. I wanted to go to Yunza. But when my family moved to Kabwe, I was like, Yunza will be near. So now I switched. I was like, no, I'm going to see. That's what influenced me to go to CBU. And then So even like my grade 12 results, I think after school, I only used them to apply to CBU. That's the only university I applied to. I didn't apply to Yunza or anywhere, Russia. I just used them to apply to CBU. I was like, I'm going there. So I took a bus to CBU. By then, I think you had to apply physically and stuff or through the post office, but I opted to just go there and drop my application there. So there's this guy, he was in his third year. I knew him from high school, from Jets and all of those things. So I called him, yeah, here, I'm at your room, help me apply. So I got the form and then I told him, no, I want to do physics. So no, we don't have pure physics at CB, but then there wasn't any pure physics. The closest we have is physics with education. So I was like, it's okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I was like, but you look at your results, you have got ones all over. You only have a 2 in English, the rest of the 6 subjects, you have got ones. You can't do this program. It's like, why not? I'm interested. My interest is physics. Like, no. You used to make robots and all of those things. You are an engineer. Study engineering. Go in engineering. Tick engineering. That's how I ticked engineering. That's how I ended up studying electrical and electronics engineering. So that's what happened. And then the plan when I was there, the plan still was, I need to work very hard, get straight A's and become a professor. That was my goal. And but the thing is, first year was wild. I had started drinking.
Were you drinking before?
No.
You had never drunk before?
I think I started maybe a month before going to CBU. I think, that gap year does a lot to people. So it's the same thing for me. Okay, because the thing is, you are in Kabwe. By then I joined my parents in Kabwe. You're bored. There isn't a lot of stuff to do. So most of us found ourselves playing pool. And the pool tables were found in drinking places. So that is how I was addicted to pool. And I tried to resist. Like, I hated alcohol for many reasons, for many personal reasons. So I tried to resist drinking. But pool became addictive for me. And then, when you're in an environment for a long time, eventually you succumb. So that's how I started drinking, like, I think about 2 months or a month before going to university. And then now you're at university, there's freedom. You can go back to your hostel, to your boarding house anytime. And then you have money, bursaries, committee, and all of those things. You're getting your meal allowance. So, and you're 19. So I think that was a very bad combination. It was disaster. And then the other thing is, I did very well in high school. I wrote physics Olympiads in Dola. I came out first position. There was all this backlog of academic work that had already, compiled on myself. So I was like, it's okay. This A-level physics, I can do this. So I never used to study. I was just drinking, studying. Studying 2 days before tests. But that's bad. I think when my results came first year, I had 3 C's, 1 A in maths, because naturally I'm gifted at maths. So maths and then physics because of the Olympiad thing. And I think so the results went very, very good because of the thing. But I managed to get, I think, A and A's and whatever in the rest of it.
To get you to the next. To the next.
But the thing is, I quit drinking. I reformed my life. I became a committed Christian after my first year. And then my second year results, I was back. I was focused and they were very, very good. So I was like, I need to become a professor. Then I think 4th year, we started hearing the word entrepreneurship a lot. And then there were a lot of people on campus that had businesses, printing and all of those things. So I think that really, changed me a lot. So I was like, no, I think I need to become a business person. But what I think the biggest influence was a BlackBerry. My roommates, my brother was my roommate and my other roommate. For my birthday, they bought me a BlackBerry. I don't know if it was new or if it was second hand, but it was a BlackBerry. So I was very fascinated by that device. which company has made this? So there's actually a company that has made this. I started researching. Oh, there's a company called Research in Motion Limited. It makes Blackberries. It was a very impressive device. So I was like, I think this is what a human being is supposed to do. A human being is supposed to start a company like Research in Motion and make such things for humanity. So I was hooked with the idea from then to say, no, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'll start my company. Yeah, and then eventually I finished school. Got a job first with Zambia College, then with Huawei. But I wasn't comfortable because, there was that thing. No, my calling, my career will be in entrepreneurship. I will start a company. So eventually, thank God I was young and naive. It wasn't very, very easy to transition. I think I was 25 or so. Yeah. So I left, and then we went on this journey with my friend. Yeah. So
you started Creation Dynamics.
Yes. We started Creation Dynamics.
That's your first business and company.
Okay, first company, formal settings. It's a company, it's formal, there's whatever, it's the Creation Dynamics. But before that, even when I was at CBU, I started a computer repair business at my room, my hostel room, C120. And then from there, I started a driving school in campus.
In campus?
Yeah, so I knew a guy in the other room who knew how to drive, excellent driver. And I knew a guy who had the car. So
you brought them together?
Yeah, I brought them together. What I had to do was just make posters. So we did that. Though it was short-lived, but it was a good experience. And for the brief time it existed, it worked out. Yeah. So that was my first experience at business.
Yeah. So I know we're gonna talk about that, and you've had this business for over 10 years now. 11?
Yeah.
11 years.
Yes.
Tell me about the experience.
The experience.
Do you regret?
No. I don't regret. And it's good you don't see what you're going to go through, because if they had to show you what you were going to go through, you wouldn't go a certain
direction.
Yeah, a certain direction. So I think the first 4 years were extremely rough, like very, very rough, very rough. I think 1.5 years in. Our first business idea didn't work out. We ran out of money. I think I was owing people. I was in debt. I was owing my landlord. I remember stuff being collected from me, being evicted because of those arrears. I remember being taken in by a friend, sleeping in the living room. All of those episodes. I remember getting back on my feet again. You're back. You hire people. They steal most of your stuff and disappear. So that has happened before. I remember, you start making money and then you don't know about finance, but the money is coming and you end up misappropriating it. You end up over borrowing because you think, there's more money that's coming. So I can overspend. There's this money still coming, but that money doesn't end up coming. You end up in massive debt again. COVID ends up happening while you're in debt. So there have been all of these episodes. So it has been bittersweet. But I think eventually what ended up happening was we ended up learning a lot of things about business. And
then those failures
all of those failures. All of those failures were not because business is hard, but because we didn't know anything about business. It's about knowing what to do. So those years at least taught us what to do. Because there was nothing business in my background. There was nobody to consult. There was no maybe uncle who's a successful businessman in my family who I could go and ask and get mentorship. So I started everything from scratch. And then the other mistake that I made was I was not reading books. I was just, I think that thing where you have a degree, you have gone to school, it really, it works both ways. It's an advantage, but sometimes it works against you because you think you know it all. You're like, I'm a CBU graduate. So how could selling stuff and getting payments, how difficult would that be? So I think that was a very bad mistake. I think from the beginning, I should have just immersed myself in learning. Yeah, but eventually I think we knew how to ride the bike, and it worked out. So I think, let me just say, the past 5 years have been okay. They've been rewarding. Yeah, we're not a we're not a big company yet. I think when people ask me, I say this is when we are starting. Yeah, so we started at -20. So for -20, -15, so we've been rising. Now we're at 0. Now we're at 0, and I can tell you 0 is a very good place to be.
Yeah. Nice. Now there's a lot to unpack from there, and I think I invited you. One of the reasons is because as creatives as well, like most of us in this industry, and it's a growing industry, the creative field, and most of us are growing without structure because most of us are self-taught, and so there's no like proper structure. There's a few schools that teach you about business as a creative, and so we're gonna get into that, and that's why specifically for this book, that's why we're going to discuss.
Okay.
Now, I want us to talk about offers and money. I know it's a big deal, and I've started adding this segment to do it because I know that it's important for people to also talk about money. Yeah. So for someone meeting you for the first time, what is your main offer right now?
So I try to separate my business life from my personal life. Like I try to separate business, the company, for example, and me. We are two separate entities. So I'm on a salary, for example, at work. So it's not just like, oh, you know what, we have received the payment. You know, I get I get the whole payment. I transfer it into my account and all of those things. No. I'm on a salary. I get paid. So I can tell you what the businesses I do offer, but as a person, what I offer, I think I offer knowledge. Knowledge is my biggest offer. Yeah, I think I've been endowed with many experiences, many insights and exposure that can help a lot of people achieve their potential, succeed in various fields, especially fields like business, personal development, and I think I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my main offer, and I try to live out that life through writing. Through sharing the way I'm sharing now, through seminars, through consultancy. So I'm open to all of those opportunities, and at a personal level, that is what I offer. I think that's the biggest thing about me.
Yeah. Okay. And then, how does money actually reach you today? Is it from Creation Dynamics, your books, or your other work?
Money reaches money reaches me through various streams. And I think one thing that really worked out for me is, over the years I focused on just one thing, which is to make the company work. So I tried to say no to other sources of income because it would have made me comfortable, and I wouldn't have pushed this one thing to a point where it is working, it is employing people, and it is feeding other families, including mine also. So initially it was just that. I never had any other, and I always used to say, no, I think I have a friend who, there's a time I think things were very bad. Yeah, and then he said, you know what, why don't you put this and this thing on Yango to do this? And I was like, this is going to make me lazy. I know it's a good idea and I can do it, but I know if I start doing it, it's going to make me lazy, pushing this. So this needs to work out. Yeah, the level of discomfort needs to be felt so that I can push this. Yeah. So initially I just used to get paid from whatever the company paid me. Yes, and then eventually I think I reached a point when we became stable, and I can't say successful. I can't say we are successful.
I think you are.
No. Yeah. No. I think success.
You're being humble.
No. Successful is a very big word. Yeah, it's a very big word. Yeah. I think it doesn't end. There isn't an end. But what I can say is we are stable. We are okay. We are happy. We all get paid on time. We all get paid on time, and we all get paid sufficiently. I don't want to say handsomely, but
sufficiently.
We are okay. We are fine. So I think when we stabilized, I tried to invest into a few other income streams so that I shouldn't put a lot of pressure on the company. Because one other thing that kills businesses is where you have pressure. You have school fees. like for example, tomorrow schools are opening tomorrow, for example, and then you haven't paid, and then you already got your salary. You see, but the money is not enough. Now you're making up stories so that you can get a payment from the company. Now, you know what? I need to travel to Ndola. We have an urgent meeting. I need to fly. You get the point. 15,000 kwacha, you withdraw. That is killing your business. Yeah, so I'm big on having multiple streams of income. I'm big on having side hustles and things like that. So I've tried to do one or two things here and there. And one of them is the same books, for example. The self-publishing. I get money from this also. Yeah. So this helps. There's also another small business we do with my wife. So that also helps, for example. And also sometimes I'm invited to speak. It's not consistent, but when it happens, it also helps. It also adds on to that. Yeah. So mostly my money comes for the most part predictably comes from those circles. But I don't know. God is full of surprises. Usually, there's also providence is also something we should not look out. We should not brab away. There are many things that just happen. Providentially. There's this, blah, 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 oh, money. You get the point. That also happens, and I thank God for that.
Yeah. Awesome. I like the fact that you highlight that when starting out, you tried as much as possible to just focus on growing the business and avoid other distractions. Of course, they were tempting that because they would bring you money and whatnot. I think that's also the kind of advice, like when I was starting out in the creative field, I have a lot of interest in the creative field. I like motion design, I like UI UX design, but when I was starting out, I focused on learning graphic design first, knowing the basics, and after knowing that, that's when I went into other areas. And I think as a beginner, it's important, correct me if I'm wrong, it's important that you focus on one thing first, get good at that, and then maybe you can bring in other things or other interests.
Bro, I totally agree with you. There's only a fool can argue against that. Yeah, there's even a book. My cousin once recommended a certain book to me. It's entitled The One Thing by a guy called Gary Keller. The One Thing by Gary Keller. It talks about the same thing. I think there's no other person I've ever come across who has talked about that concept or discussed it the way Gary Keller has discussed it. So there's that book. It's available in Grey Matter. I think I saw Grey Matter selling it. I think it's also available online. It's a must read. The One Thing.
The One Thing.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest keys to success, in my opinion. Just focus. You focus on something and you're consistent with it. Eventually, you succeed at it. Yeah. I think maybe one day I'll write a book about that. That has really helped me a lot.
Because there's a lot of distractions. Especially when you're working on something and it's not bringing results right there and then so you're tempted to start another thing maybe when you haven't really put in so much effort into one thing.
True. That's very true. And then people also, don't realize that there are all of these roadblocks in whatever you're trying to do. Nothing worth doing is always straightforward. So whenever you have got all these stumbling blocks, you need to go over them. You don't stop and say, this is difficult, let me try the next thing. You never succeed. You never amount to anything.
And then another question I would like to ask you. I don't know how familiar with the creative field, but also you're also a creative. But I'm sure you're familiar with some people who are very talented, but they fail to turn those ideas into a business or a way to get paid or get money from their talent. What do you think are the mistakes they make?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm very familiar with the creative field.
You're also a creative.
Yeah, I'm a creative myself. Even creation dynamics.
Of course.
Creation dynamics deals. It's in the creative space. 40% of the footing is in the creative space somehow. So it's a field that I'm very, very familiar with. And one of my hidden talents is I can draw and I can paint. Yeah, that's one of my hidden talents. So in trying to pursue that hobby while growing up, so I'm an amateur painter. I've come across a lot of artists, a lot of graphics designers, a lot of animators, a lot of people in the creative space. And I think many of them don't have confidence. I think confidence is missing. You know, they're very good at what they do, but they just lack that confidence, especially in themselves. So I think most of the people that I've seen that succeed in the creative field have got this element in them, just the confidence to say, you know what, I am this person, you know, I am Joseph, I'm the best artist in Zambia, I'm the best guy, my work is there. And then because they've got that confidence, naturally it leads them to a platform where they want everybody to know that I am Joseph. And then that in itself markets them, brands them, without them knowing that what they're doing is marketing or branding.
Yeah.
And then eventually more opportunities come their way, and those opportunities naturally make them better because they've got more opportunities to practice and to become better. And then when they do that, their works reach a much larger audience and attract more people, and you know, it's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
But I think it all begins with confidence. Yeah. And then the creatives that, you know, are struggling are not confident. Most of them, I think, suffer from that. You find a guy, you know, he's just there, he has his thing, and he does a good thing. He just closes his laptop or his sketchpad, and you're like, bro, you're the one who did this. Yes, I'm the one who did it. Wow, bro, this is money. This is nice. Oh, okay. And then the guy doesn't even have a 20 kwacha.
Yeah.
You get the point. You get the point, right? Yeah. So no one is going to come and save you. That's the thing. Everyone is busy.
Yeah.
Everyone has got their own dreams. You get the point, right? Yeah. So if you're waiting for a savior, it might happen. Yeah. The probability is there. There's a 5, 10. Okay, let me say there's a small chance that will happen.
Yeah.
But it's very unlikely. You need to. I mean, it's a bad example, but even the harlots. They go on the roadside because no one will know that, you know, there's business. You get the point, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to stop being afraid.
Yeah, I think when you're also lacking confidence, even the way you price your work also, or because you're not confident, so even pricing the correct amount for your work.
I
think that's where it's like for something work that is worth maybe 80,000, you're charging 800 kwacha.
Yeah, even 200.
Yeah, even 200.
No, yeah, bro, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. And I think at some point, yeah, I used to be that person somehow. Yeah. I used to be that person. And I think it's something that you work on continuously. Yeah, it's something that you work on continuously. Because even me, I think I can't say it has died 100%. It always comes sometimes, you know, you're there, and then people are introducing, you know, this is this guy, he did this, he did this, he did that, and you're like, Jesus, is this all me? Why? There's that imposter syndrome that doesn't die completely. There's always a part of you that wants to chicken out. Yeah, so it's something that you keep working on, keep polishing. Forever, it never ends. Yeah, but you always need to be aware of it. Awareness is the most important thing to say. Oh, there's this, I need to be confident. I need to work on my confidence all the time. Yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome. All right, so this is called Do It. Here we don't just talk. Yeah, so for the project breakdown, we're gonna dive into your recently published book. This was last year, right?
Last year, yeah.
So from concept to company. So we're gonna go into this. The subtitle is How to Start and Grow a Business Organically. And so we're going to discover your thought behind this, why you started this, and all those things, and your process of writing, and also some business advice you can give out to people out there.
Especially creatives.
Especially creatives, yes. Okay. Are you ready?
Absolutely. One time.
Quick reminder, if this conversation is helping you, press that subscribe button. It's free for you, but it helps us share these stories with so many people. Okay, thank you for joining me on this segment of the project breakdown. So what really inspired you to, at this point in your journey, to write from concept to company, how to start a business, how to start and grow a business organically?
I think in the same way just previously discussed the struggles that creatives go through. I don't know if I have to face this way or face you.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. So in the same way we describe the struggles that creatives go through, it is not just creatives. It is the majority of all of us. Yeah. Many of us go into business without having a background in business, exposure to business, people that we can refer to, uncles, aunties, families in business. We just, know that there's such a thing out there called business, and circumstances or even interests, cause us to dive in. And then what we end up experiencing is, is a very bad time. But for those that persevere, after certain years, they catch the drift and they end up becoming good businessmen. But that doesn't happen automatically. You go through a lot of stuff. So I think I was like 9 years into business, full-time business. And then I thought about myself. I thought of myself the time when I was 25, when I was starting out. Yeah. And I thought about all of these other people. And then I realized, you know what? Instead of me keeping this knowledge to myself, the things that have worked out for me, let me write this book. Yeah. Yes. And then one thing that has really helped us grow is relying on organic growth. Yeah. Organic growth has limits. Yeah. Obviously, if you want to build a power station today, you can't do that using organic means. You need massive investment coming on time at the same time. Yeah. You get the point, right? Yeah. But for most of us starting out in business, we don't have that access to capital. We don't have, especially here in Zambia, we can read, we can watch a lot of documentaries about entrepreneurship, and we'll hear a lot of concepts like angel investors, venture capital firms and all of those things. Those work out in most places, but here, this is a very, very different scenario. Yeah. Yeah. So usually what is the best approach here for anybody, the universal approach is organic growth. Yeah. Yeah. So that was my idea. Writing a book, a blueprint that anyone can just pick up. You have never done business before, or you're struggling in business, you pick up and then you start reading. So it is just the practical stuff. It's not things from my head, my philosophy, my ideas. It's things that we have been through and that have worked, and that I know if you just read and applied, your chances of making it, would double.
Thank you. And you've already also answered the part of growing the business organically. And now, from the time you are preparing to write this book, who did you have in mind that you are writing for?
So, for example, retirees. We have people who just retire. This person has been working as a civil servant for 40 years. He has had no business exposure. The only thing that the person has is maturity and age and and some pension. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same thing as the way I talked about having a degree makes you think you know it all. Being old also makes you think you know it all. So you know what, I'm 65. What have I not seen? Yeah. Yeah. And then you end up realizing you can't run business on common sense. You end up realizing business is like swimming. You're in the water. Reading about swimming can't help you swim. We have students, young people. Young people have the advantage of what can I say? They're not restricted. They're open-minded. They don't have all these roadblocks in their heads, and they're full of new ideas, full of new energy. But how do they translate that energy into something tangible, into a business, when they're lacking mentorship? Yeah. Yeah. So this book was written for such people. Yeah. And everybody else that falls in between that those extremes of that spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah. So you also share how you quit employment. Of course, you work for Zamtel and Huawei, right?
Zamtel College and Huawei.
Yeah. So why did you quit your job and you have a degree in engineering, electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering.
I mean, you could have gotten a big job by now. I mean, there's so many years that you've
big
paying job, big company.
No, that's not a lie. Yeah. I can benchmark. I can see my friends that didn't go in the direction that I've gone in, and they're very good managerial position. Most of them they're doing very, very fine. That could have been me, or I could have even been better or something. But there are no regrets. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I have everything. I have some money. Right? When you talk about money, you have to be careful. So I have some money. But what I have the most is time. There are some people, I always tell people to say, no, I don't have a lot of money, but I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time, I have a lot of freedom. Which most of my friends don't have. You can call me tomorrow and say, let's go to South Africa. We're going to go. You can call me. I don't have to apply for leave. I don't have to tell my boss, I'm not coming tomorrow. No, that can, I can, if I'm tired, I won't go for work tomorrow. I'll stay home.
Go whatever time you want to.
No, but there has to be discipline. There has to be discipline. You don't just stay away and then expect things to happen. But I think when it's necessary that I need to rest, I can rest. So I have a lot of time.
So what inspired you to
quit? So it's the same thing. Growing up, I didn't have any interest in business, didn't know anything about business, didn't even want to be a business person. I wanted to be a scientist. Went to CBU, discovered my passion for business. Okay? And that is when I made up my mind. So even while working, I knew I was going to quit. I knew I was going to do it. So it was just a matter of time. So it's just about finding your passion. So I found out what I wanted to do and who I was. So quitting was just me affirming what I knew I had decided to become. So that was the thing. And then the other thing is also, I'm very patriotic. I'm a patriotic person. I love my country. I love my continent. I love my people. And I know we can't change the continent without sacrifice. What we need a lot of people. Let me not say business people. It's not about you opening a business, but you have to be enterprising. You have to be innovative. You have to be productive in some way. In some way. And when I say in some way, I mean in the thing that God has placed inside you. Do your part. You are here in this country, in this continent, in this world as the missing element. You're the missing key. We have many missing keys that are not doing anything, and we remain locked. But if we all did something, I think we'd unlock a lot of things and move our country forward.
So in the book, you also talk about building from sweat, equity, and knowledge when cash is low. Tell me about that.
So... Okay, I've forgotten which chapter deals with that. But when we talk about sweat equity, we mean, here's an example. You realize you need the website. I think that's the same example I used in the book. You realize your business needs a website. And you realize this website will cost 50,000 kwacha, for example, to be set up. So it simply means you will need a capital injection of 50,000 kwacha. That 50,000 kwacha needs to come from somewhere. So somebody needs to put in that capital. The other way is equity. You need to put in that equity, that 50,000 kwacha in the business. But there's another way in which you can do it. You can view tutorials. Teach yourself how to code. Teach yourself how to do websites. And eventually... maybe it will take you 4 months or it will take you 1 month, but eventually you're going to have a website. Maybe it won't be the most perfect website, but it will be functional. So after you make that website, you would have contributed an equivalent or 50,000 kwacha or almost that. There will be value that you would have contributed, maybe even half of that. But you making that website is a contribution, and that's what we call sweat equity. You are sweating. You have contributed sweat. So instead of contributing money, you have contributed sweat. So sometimes what we need when we are starting is harnessing sweat equity. You have 4 founders. It's a company, you've got 4 founders. and you list down the things that you need. Identify the things that you can do on your own instead of you looking for money and and ticking those things off the list. Try and give yourself time, whether it's 3 months, and see if you can implement that on your own. So I think creatives have got a very huge advantage because they're already creative. They're already poised to learn stuff and contribute sweat equity to whatever they're doing instead of getting external funds out.
Yeah. Then you also outlined the idea of customer-funded business.
Yes, that's a very, very important concept to grasp. So when we are talking about funding a business, people are going to list down funding sources. They'll start with the common one. They're going to say banks, the 3 F's, friends, fools, and family, and the list is going to go down and the list to end somewhere. What they don't talk about is the customer. The customer, in my opinion, when you're in an organic setup, that's your best source of funding. In that, there are many models in which you can get funding from your customer, but I think the most intuitive right now is getting an upfront payment. So, for example, you're doing paintings. You see, you're commissioned to do a painting, and then you say, please give me an upfront payment. That upfront payment is the customer lending you money because you have not yet delivered. So you have told the customer to say, I'm going to finish this painting within 3 weeks, but give me 50%. So your customer gives you a 10,000 kwacha. That is lending. The customer has lent you that money. There's no interest involved. You're not going to pay interest to your customer. All of these things that are attached when you're getting money from elsewhere, they're all not there. All you need to do is just deliver. So from that 10,000 kwacha, you can buy your canvas, you can buy your brushes, you can do a lot of things from that. And you deliver, and you're going to get your extra 10,000 kwacha. And from that 10,000 kwacha that you're going to get, you can buy a lot of other equipment. So if you run those iterations 20 times, eventually you have that 400,000 kwacha, whatever you're looking for. So I think that is one of the easiest ways anyone can get funding in our ecosystem. When you're just starting out, you don't have any track record and all of those things. I think the best is to concentrate on that customer funded business approach.
Nice. I know I have a lot to ask, but you also outlined the idea of, as a founder, embracing personal growth through reading books, and you say that it can multiply that many times to grow your business by just reading different books. Absolutely.
So like I think a story is told about this factory that had a machine that broke down. And then they called a lot of experts, PhDs, you name it, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with that machine. Until somebody said, no, there's this old man that I know. He's retired and he knows a lot about these things. Call him. And then that man came, I think I read about that story, fixed that thing in 2 minutes. Okay? There was just a research switch rather, that those people had to press. That is what the machine needed. A press on the reset button. That's all. So there's a book by Michael Gerber entitled The E-Myth Revisited. Must read book. I think in his opening lines, he quotes someone saying, when you are in a do or die situation, you don't need the brains of an Einstein or the talent of a Michelangelo or anything. All you need to know is what to do. You get the point? You just need to know what to do. There's a lion here, lion is here, lion is coming. All you need to know is what to do. So if you know to say, oh, you know what, when this animal is coming, what you need to do is raise your hand and then do this and it will run away. Problem solved. You get the point? But if you do not know what to do, you're doomed. The lion is going to come, it's going to eat you because you don't know what to do. So the only way, it's the same thing. So the whole thing applies to business also. Business is hard because we assume we know what to do. We assume this machine needs more oil. This machine needs that for us to untighten the nuts and all of those things. No. It's in the books that are going to not say, no, you have to press the reset button. Yeah, that's the way it works. So books, business is very unusual. It's a very unusual world. It's very, very detached from everyday life because it is what creates everyday life. Everyday life is as a result of business. Yes. So people use everyday life as a reference to say this is how business works. No. What happens in the background cannot be the same as the foreground that it creates. You get the point? So the only way you can know how the background works is going back there and seeing, and then you get surprised. You say, oh, this is what happens. Also, this is how marketing works. Marketing is not just you posting something on Facebook. You get the point? So the only way you can know about that secret knowledge, that secret background knowledge is through reading. Yeah, reading, nothing else. That's the most important thing. Yeah. So there was a point, I think when I was 4 years struggling, trying to establish the business and experiencing massive failure. There was a point where I just read one book about sales. I was just like, why don't I just read about this? Why don't I just read about how to get more sales? I read a sales book, and then the sales increased. That just changed me to say, oh, so this is what happens when you read. Everything just changes. I ended up reading 42 books that year.
42 books?
Yeah, I ended up reading 42 books. Yeah. The following.
On sales or?
What?
On sales?
No, everything.
On different aspects.
Everything. Finance, whatever, you name it. Later on, the following year I read 36 books. I think eventually also, a few years later, I enrolled for an MBA at UNILAS, and I think that's one of the best decisions I ever made because I'm seeing I'm a dropout. Yeah, I'm a dropout. I did all the coursework. I started doing my thesis. I think there was 3 months left. Yeah, but I think I'll go back and submit my thesis and graduate. But that knowledge has really, really helped us a lot. It has really helped me a lot because the things that I learned at UNILAS have really added structure to our business and our operations, our everything. I think that corporate knowledge was one of the missing keys. Yeah. So knowledge, you can't overemphasize knowledge. Yeah. You're going to look. If you knew everything in the world, you don't be where you are. The reason why you are where you are, that's the limit of what you know. For you to be somebody else, for you to be at a higher level, what you need to change is what's up here. Yeah, that's the only way to succeed, to move forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then the last question would be for a creative who wants to grow. You can be a creative, you can be a designer, but from that you can also form a business through what you do. Maybe as a designer, you can come up with your own brand and design everything yourself. So what advice do you have for those that are struggling, especially financially? Okay.
So when it comes to, I think the other challenge that I think comes with being a creative is, you want to be the best at what you do as a creative. Okay? Which is very, very good, and that's what the world wants from you. You are Albert Einstein. If Albert Einstein became a businessman, we wouldn't have all the things that his theories have given us. We wouldn't have known about Michelangelo. We wouldn't have known about Nikola Tesla. We wouldn't have known about all of these people if all of them were business-minded. So we need people to remain creatives. We need people to keep identifying themselves as creatives. And that is why when it comes to you going in the business world, you don't always have to start a company. Yeah. I think there's a book by Robert Kiyosaki entitled Cash Flow Quadrant. Yeah, so I think Cash Flow Quadrant is a must-read book by any adult. When you turn 19, go and read Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. Yeah, because it explains the various ways in which you can participate in the economy. Yeah, so you can be self-employed. So I think that's the best way you can remain creative and you can remain economically viable by being self-employed. So you need to make it work. You need to know how you can survive, how you can succeed, how you can make it work with being in that space of being self-employed. Sometimes it's about because you don't have a marketing team, you don't have any of those things. Yeah. So you need to find a way in which you can make the most out of every opportunity that you have, because you don't have enough time to be a businessman, but you have a lot of time to be a creative. So I think that is the space. I think that's the best way. Yeah. And then eventually, for example, I think when you reach a point where you're tired of being a creative and you want something to be like a full-time business, maybe that's when you can jump into the other quadrant and start a company and all of those things. But starting a company, the warning is, when you start a company and you want the company to succeed, you are going to forfeit. You're going to forfeit your right to be a creative. Now you have to be a manager. Yeah. Now you have to spend many months, even 2 years or 3 years to become a good manager, to become a good entrepreneur. Yeah. So I talked about Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth Revisited. That one is like the first book you have to read when you become an entrepreneur, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. And one of the points that Michael Gerber stresses is that work on the business, not in the business. Yeah. The reason why many small businesses fail is because the founders want to work in the business. So if you want to start a company and you want to remain a creative, find somebody, partner with somebody who will take over with the management. And then you can be in charge of the creative aspect. Yes. And just be in charge of that. Be the best at being creative, and let your partner or your partners handle the management side of it. But if you try to do both at the same time, I think it's a disaster. I think you're going to lose out either way. I think it's better you are excellent at being a creative and you make the most out of the little time you have to do business. You have to get payments and all of those things. Yeah, but you can find a way to make it work. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot to unpack from this book and from you as well, but last question is, where can people find this?
So Bookworld,
and how much is it?
Bookworld is selling them at $250. Yeah, you can get them at Bookworld, or you can get them directly from us.
Yeah. Okay. We'll show the number on the screen.
Yeah.
I'll leave the number.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much for the project breakdown. I know there's a lot to unpack and I've learned quite a number of things, and I'm also excited to finish. I started the book before you came, but I'll find time just to finish.
My favorite chapter and my recommendation is chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Yeah.
And thank you. I know you've left a note for me there. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll have a read. So chapter 5, it says, time and pressure, the law of accumulation.
Time and pressure, the law of accumulation. That's my favorite chapter. Yeah. So I also, this is my copy. See, I've opened it a lot of times. I always read, I always read that chapter to myself most of the time. Yeah.
You read?
No, I read this book. It's my favorite book for now. Yeah. So I also read it. So especially chapter 5.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. We'll go back to the conversation just to wrap it up.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for the project breakdown. And right now, just to wrap it up, we're going to go through the rapid fire questions. So these are going to be short answers only, no paragraphs.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Shoot.
Okay. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Coffee, tea, or something else when you're working?
Something else.
One book you reread or recommend often?
If it's not mine, I would recommend Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday.
A hobby or interest that has nothing to do with business or engineering?
Hiking.
Awesome. A place in Lusaka or Ndola that always inspires you?
University of Lusaka, Silverest campus.
One small daily habit that keeps you grounded?
Learning languages on Duolingo.
Awesome. All right, those are the rapid fire questions. Thank you so much. Right. And then in closing, what are you mostly excited about? Something that you would like to share, or something that you're working on in the background?
On the other side, I'm a hiker. I love hiking. Yeah. So I'm the chairman of should be the largest hiking club in Zambia. So we're working on a hiking festival. Lusaka. Let me just say it's a hiking festival for people around Zambia, but it will be based here in Lusaka sometime in August. So I think that's one of the things that I'm excited about that we're working on right now. Yeah. So if you are into hiking and outdoors, this is something that you should look out for and you won't miss.
And what is it called again?
The club or
the club?
The 8th Trail Hiking Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that if you check out on social media, you're going to find us, the 8th Trail Hiking Club.
Yeah. And of course, where can people find you and support your work online, of course?
The easiest is on social media, because I think it's easy for us to respond there, and it's easy for you to get in touch with us. So that's LinkedIn or Facebook. So Harrison Mwenda, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Then what one sentence would you share with a talented but stuck creative who is scared of business? I know you don't.
What I would say is there's somebody out there. There's somebody out there who is stuck. They need that thing that you can offer. So because you're not offering that thing that you can't offer, somebody's stuck out there. It's you that they need. It's the thing that you offer, your style, your unique style. That's what is needed somewhere. So they are waiting for you. So by you being scared and you being in your shell, you are disadvantaging somebody else. Somebody's perishing out there because you have refused to be you.
Thank you so much for that. That's really helpful. And thank you for coming through. I know there's a lot of things to discuss, but of course, we'll have you back on so that we can discuss more.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's do it.